Well, hello everybody and welcome back up into the Bear's Den Gardens. Today I am mucking about just a little bit more with the idea of companion planting for indoor gardening. As a lot of you who follow the Bear's Family Farm channel know, I'm doing a lot of research on rebuilding fields, pastures, etc. And a lot of these folks are going off about biodiversity that, both in the plants and in the soil life, and how basically having more plants in there builds more soil life. And I'm trying to figure out, can I benefit from any of this with my indoor stuff, right? Like, I'm having some struggles getting my peppers to actually produce fruit, so maybe if I throw some assorted herbs and stuff in there, will it make a difference? So to that end, I've been doing some planting and some cloning, and I started with that oregano aloe thing, and that seems to be going really well. So I think we're going to up the game a little bit today and start putting more herbs in more of these potted plants. I think it's only been, about 2 weeks since I put these rooted oregano cuttings in with the aloe, and they are doing absolutely fantastic. I keep turning this a little bit every time I'm up here, and look at the growth on this one here. That is just fabulous. There's a little bit of browning going on the tips of the aloe, so I'm not quite sure it's as happy with its transplant, and it's going to take a little bit longer for it to settle in, I think, but these oregano are definitely doing fantastic. And if you look around, I've got all these planters, right? But they've only got one plant in them, and the rest of it is just bare soil. So all of this light that I'm paying for, and always griping because I need more light, I need more light in my garden, wish I had more light. I'm not really maximizing the light that I've got to begin with, so who am I to kind of bitch that I don't have enough light? I've got all this soil sitting here doing nothing. Anywhere that light is hitting soil, it is being wasted, and I pay for these LEDs, I pay for the power, so on that score I'm kind of, screwing myself over, right? Need to take more advantage of the situation I've got growing here. So I'm going to start doing a little bit more of this, I think. And I'm leaning towards doing it to this monster right here, because it's got such a beautiful light above it. Thank you, Sansi. Appreciate that. And look at how much artificial sunlight is being wasted bouncing off of that soil there. So time to add some herbs into that. So taking a look at the seed starting and cutting arrow garden here. How's that, eh? That oregano looks fantastic. And if we pull the pod, we can see its roots have definitely gotten to a point where if I let it grow in here much longer, it's going to start getting tangled into things. This sage in the back that has also started rooting has gotten to a very similar point. Time to move that on. Maybe put a few more cuttings in there. Well, maybe. Definitely going to put more cuttings in here. But for now, these ones need to go somewhere else. So we'll pull you out. Nice looking roots. And we'll pull you out into the cup. Alright. But wait, there's more. Over here in the other arrow garden, we've got the other oregano cuttings. Now these ones aren't doing anywhere near as well, and I thought they had received the same amount of nutrients, but I guess they're just not as happy. So we're also going to move these ones into some pepper plants today. The roots are getting to a point again where if I don't move them soon, they're going to start mucking about with the internals. So I'll have to put some new pods in there. Basil seems to be doing fairly well. Quite a few of them that popped up in there, so we might transplant some more of those maybe next week, or just move that whole thing. We'll see. This thyme's doing alright. Still nothing coming up in the curly parsley. We got this mint though. I don't know. I don't think I've ever sprouted mint from seed, but that doesn't quite look like a mint to me just yet. So I'm hopeful. I'm curious. We'll see what comes of it all. Need to get some pods in those too before the pump turns back on next time. Better do that now before I forget, really. Alright, so I don't want to disturb the soil too much. That's one of those things that all those farm guys keep going off about. So I'm just going to take a pencil here and kind of wiggle my way into the soil as best I can. Hopefully that will be enough that we can get, oh, wet pencil now, just watered that thing. Hopefully that'll be enough. We can get one of these pods in. Okay, more or less enough. Perhaps I should have used a Sharpie. Okay. Anyway, that's a little more soil disturbance than I was hoping to get active with there. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I almost got slapped in the face by that one. Did you guys see that? How rude. Mind you, I'm the one poking a pencil in its roots, so I guess rude's a matter of perspective. Now I'm hoping with these two sadder looking oregano plantings, they'll perk up and get some decent color going in there, like the ones growing with the aloe, and like this last one I'm about to stick in here. I imagine I have really ravaged some of the roots to this pepper plant. Hopefully we won't see too many repercussions from that in the coming weeks. And yeah, hopefully we will see some benefits from having some extra things planted in with it here. So that's just the oregano. I've still got this one sage plant that I want to put in somewhere. So I guess I'm probably just going to end up tucking in here too. Find a spot for it over here and try not to hurt the pepper too much with all of this. It does feel like the roots for that pepper go down nice and deep though, so that's kind of positive, kind of positive. And then I think I might just throw some more topsoil on this because none of these pods made it all the way down. Not even going to worry about taking those dead leaves out. Leave them in there. Now, where'd my pot and soil go? This stuff is so dry, but at least it'll cover up any roots I didn't quite get buried in. Biggest thing with potting soil is there's little to no nutrient value in it. And you get the stuff that they'll put in there as a bonus to get you to buy the soil in the first place, right? But as far as stuff that's going to feed this biology that we're looking for diversity and blah blah blah, better plant growth and all that stuff, from what I understand, yeah, potting soil just does not have what it takes to get the job done. Which is why a lot of us end up using all these artificial fertilizers and stuff, because we kind of really got no choice. Alright, so 3 oreganos and a sage in with that Monster Bad Brains pepper. Put that over there for now. Need to water it up. Take a look at it from my point of view here on the floor. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, obviously that's the nicest looking oregano right now, but hopefully these two will take some color. And as you can see, there's plenty of light still getting down to those plants, so they shouldn't be struggling on that score. I might want to do a bit of top watering, even though I don't generally do that with this plant, just to help these new arrivals adapt a little bit. But that's easy enough. So yeah, here's to hope that this actually works out, right? And you know what really got me going on this kick was that tomato that got planted with the parsley last year. Because I mean, that parsley was transplanted out of the aquaponics, so I know the tomato didn't come from that. It just kind of came out of the compost soil that I had down in the dungeon. But that particular tomato plant and that particular parsley plant, they both did amazingly well, and they were basically planted right on top of each other. In fact, that parsley's kind of still growing out in the side yard, which is truly amazing. I've thought a few times about taking the camera out to show you guys that, but It's like a 10-second video, so I'm not quite sure there's much point. But it's still surprisingly green. I've got one of those cheap dollar store galoshes over it. And, you know, what's the mantra on the JT Bear channel? We're hoping for the best. So we'll see what comes of that. I will keep you guys updated on how this companion planting for my Bad Brains chili goes along. And, of course, as I get things growing in the AeroGarden again, I'll keep you guys updated on that. So, yeah, much love, take care, and I will see you next time.